Imagine holding a cup of something so ordinary, so familiar, that you never stop to think it might be rewriting the story happening inside your body right now. Not in some vague, wishful way, but at the cellular level, where your tissues decide whether to repair or decline, where your metabolism chooses to burn or store, where your body quietly determines how you'll age. What if I told you that this drink, one you might already have in your kitchen, has been shown to activate your body's own stem cells, help burn stubborn fat, and even reduce the inflammation that leads to chronic disease? This isn't about a magic potion or an expensive supplement. It's about rediscovering what nature has always offered us and what science is now proving works. I'm BarbaraONeil, and here at Older Orbit, we don't chase fads. We explore real science, we examine what actually works, and we help you understand how to support your body as it ages with strength and vitality. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful and underestimated beverages on the planet, and how it can help you feel stronger, lighter, and more alive, no matter where you are in your journey. Let me start with something most people don't realize. You were born with an incredible gift, a hidden system designed to heal you from the inside out. I'm talking about stem cells. Now, I know that phrase might make you think of expensive clinics or controversial treatments, but hear me out. From the moment you took your first breath, your body was equipped with somewhere between 70 and 80 million stem cells. These aren't locked away in some unreachable place. They're stored in your bone marrow, tucked into your organs, woven into your skin, and yes, even living inside your body fat. Think of them as your body's personal construction crew, always on standby, ready to rebuild, repair, and renew whatever needs attention. For years, we were told that humans don't regenerate the way some animals do. You've probably heard stories about salamanders growing back limbs or starfish regrowing arms. And we looked at that and said, well, that's them, not us. But that's not entirely true anymore. Science has shown us that we do regenerate. We just do it more slowly. Your liver can grow back, your lungs can repair themselves, even parts of your brain can regrow something that would have sounded like science fiction not long ago. The difference is we don't regrow an entire arm or leg, but we're constantly rebuilding from within, cell by cell, tissue by tissue. The question isn't whether you have the ability to regenerate. The question is, are you giving your body what it needs to do it well? Now, here's where things get interesting and maybe a little uncomfortable. Those same stem cells that help you heal, they're also involved in something you probably wish they weren't, storing fat. When you eat more than your body needs, that extra energy has to go somewhere. Your body is smart. It doesn't waste anything. So it takes that surplus and tucks it away in your fat cells, your fuel tanks. But what happens when those tanks are full? Your body doesn't just stop. It calls on those stem cells we talked about and says, we need more storage. And those stem cells oblige. They become new fat cells. That's why some people experience rapid weight gain even when they don't feel like they're eating that much more than usual. It's not just the food, it's how your body is responding at the cellular level. You know, when I share this with people, I often hear, why didn't anyone ever explain it this way before? And that's exactly why we created Older Orbit, to break down complex science into something that actually makes sense. If you're finding this valuable so far, stay with me, because what comes next is the part that changes everything. But here's the thing. If stem cells can be told to store fat, they can also be told to do something else. They can be guided toward repair, toward renewal, toward burning energy instead of hoarding it. And that guidance, it comes from the foods and drinks you choose every single day. Let me give you an example. There are compounds in certain foods, bioactives we call them, that actually communicate with your stem cells. Tomatoes, for instance, contain something called lycopene. It's what gives them that beautiful red color. But it does more than look pretty. Lycopene has been shown to keep fat stem cells calm. It tells them, in a sense, to stay quiet, don't make more fat, just rest. Olives and olive oil contain a compound called hydroxytyrosol. This one's fascinating because it doesn't just prevent fat storage, it actively encourages your stem cells to shift into repair mode, helping your body rebuild tissue instead of expanding your waistline. I know it sounds almost too simple. You mean to tell me that a tomato or a drizzle of olive oil can influence what's happening inside my fat tissue? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. And it's not magic, it's biology. These compounds are like messengers. They travel through your bloodstream, arrive at your cells, and deliver instructions. The more you understand this, the more you realize that every meal, every snack, every sip is a conversation with your body. You're either telling it to store and slow down, or you're telling it to repair and speed up. So, food can do that. What about drinks? Well, that's where the story gets even better. Because there's one beverage, one ancient, time-tested, scientifically validated drink that takes all of this to another level entirely. I'm talking about tea. Not the sugary iced tea from a bottle. Not the overly processed stuff with artificial flavors. I mean real tea, the kind that's been consumed for thousands of years, from the mountains of China to the villages of Japan to the hills of India. Tea is one of the most researched beverages on the planet, and what we've learned about it in recent years is nothing short of remarkable. Now, some of you are probably already thinking about which tea you have at home right now, and that's great. But here's what I'd love you to do. Grab a pen or open your notes app, because we're about to go deep into exactly which types work best and why. People in our older orbit community tell me they watch these videos multiple times just to capture all the details. That kind of attention is what leads to real transformation. Let's start with green tea, because that's probably what most people think of first. Green tea contains a group of compounds called polyphenols, and within that group there's one superstar, EGCG. Now, I'm not going to ask you to memorize that name. What I want you to remember is what it does. This compound has been shown to cut off the blood supply that feeds growing fat tissue. It reduces inflammation. It protects your stem cells so they can do their job properly. It even acts as a prebiotic, which means it feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And a healthy gut is absolutely essential for a healthy metabolism. But here's the part that really matters for us today. Research has shown that the polyphenols in green tea actually help you lose visceral fat. That's the dangerous fat, the kind you can't see, the kind that wraps around your organs and fuels inflammation, the kind that's linked to diabetes, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. Now, you might be thinking, okay, green tea sounds great, but how much of a difference can 1 cup really make? Fair question, and the answer is consistency. 1 cup won't transform your health overnight, but 1 cup a day, every day, for weeks and months, that's when your body starts to respond. Think of it like steering a big ship. You wouldn't yank the wheel hard to one side, you'd make small, steady adjustments. That's what we're doing here. We're giving your body small, steady signals that add up over time. And green tea is just the beginning. There's also matcha, which is a whole different level of potent. Matcha isn't just brewed, it's made from the entire tea leaf, ground into a fine powder. And here's the key. About a month before the leaves are harvested, farmers cover them with shade. Why? Because when the plant is stressed by a lack of sunlight, it responds by producing more polyphenols, sometimes 30 times more, sometimes even up to 300 times more than regular green tea. That means when you drink matcha, you're not just sipping tea, you're consuming the whole leaf, fiber and all, along with an incredibly concentrated dose of those healing compounds. Studies have even shown that matcha can target cancer stem cells, the kind that make tumors come back. Now, I'm not saying matcha is a cure for cancer, but I am saying it's powerful. And for someone looking to preserve muscle, protect their brain, and keep their body renewing itself as they age, matcha is a gentle, delicious daily ritual worth adopting. Then there's oolong tea, which is partially fermented, and pu'er tea, which is fully fermented and aged sometimes for years. A lot of people assume that fermented tea loses its beneficial compounds, but that's not true. In fact, fermentation creates new compounds and even introduces probiotics, live beneficial bacteria that support your gut health. Pu'er tea, for example, comes from a region that used to trade tea along the ancient Silk Road. To survive the long journey, the tea was smoked and fermented. Today, researchers have found that pu'er tea activates brown fat, the type of fat that actually burns calories to keep you warm, and it reduces the formation of new fat cells. It's like drinking a metabolic reset in a cup. I want to pause here and acknowledge something important. If you've made it this far, you're not just casually watching, you're actively learning. You're investing your time to understand how your body works at a deeper level. That's exactly the kind of commitment that separates people who see results from those who don't. And that's why our Older Orbit community is so special. We're here for the people who are serious about their health. And if tea isn't your thing, or if you just want to add another tool to your toolkit, there's coffee. Coffee is rich in something called chlorogenic acid, along with a variety of other polyphenols. These compounds protect your stem cells, boost your metabolism, and help your body process sugar more effectively. Even if you skip the caffeine and go for decaf, you're still getting those benefits. Caffeine itself does give a bit of a metabolic boost. It wakes up your brain and gently stimulates your metabolism, but it's not for everyone. Some people tolerate it well, others don't. The point is, the coffee bean itself is packed with compounds that support your health, with or without the buzz. Here's something else that might surprise you. Even the temperature of what you drink matters. When you drink something cold, iced tea, cold water, whatever it is, it hits your stomach and your body immediately detects that drop in temperature. And what does it do? It activates your brown fat to warm things back up. That process burns calories. Not a huge amount, but enough to matter when you do it regularly. So if you enjoy iced tea or just a tall glass of cold water in the morning, you're giving your metabolism a gentle nudge every single time. Now, I want to be clear about something. None of this is about restriction. It's not about giving up the foods you love or forcing yourself into some rigid plan. It's about addition. It's about adding in these powerful, research-backed drinks that work with your body's natural systems. It's about making small, sustainable changes that feel good and that your body actually responds to. You know what I love most about sharing this information? Hearing back from people weeks or months later who say, "I started doing this and I actually feel different." That's the power of taking action. So here's what I'd encourage. Pick one thing from this video, just one, and try it for the next 30 days. Then come back and share your experience in the comments. Your story could be the motivation someone else needs to start their own journey. So let's talk about how you actually put this into practice. Because knowing all of this is one thing, but living it is another. And I want this to be something you can actually do, starting tomorrow morning. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You don't need to throw out your pantry or sign up for some complicated program. You just need to build a simple, sustainable routine around a few key habits. Let me walk you through what that could look like. Start your day with hydration. Before you reach for coffee, before you check your phone, before you do anything else, drink a full glass of cold water, not room temperature, cold. Remember what we talked about earlier? That cold water hits your stomach, your body senses the temperature drop, and it fires up your metabolism to warm it back up. It's a tiny metabolic boost, but it sets the tone for the day. It wakes up your system. It signals to your body that it's time to move, to burn, to renew. And honestly, most of us are a little dehydrated when we wake up anyway. So this one habit, one glass of cold water first thing, is a simple, powerful way to start. Then, mid-morning, brew yourself a cup of green tea or matcha. If you've never tried matcha, don't be intimidated. Yes, it's a powder. Yes, it froths up when you whisk it. But you can also just stir it into hot water with a spoon or blend it into a smoothie if that's easier. The point is to get those polyphenols into your system. This is your mid-morning signal to your body. Protect, renew, support. If you're someone who likes a little ritual, this can be a beautiful one. Sit down, take a breath, sip slowly. Let it be a moment of calm in your day. And while you're doing that, your body is quietly activating stem cells, supporting your gut, calming inflammation, and guiding fat cells to behave. After lunch, switch to something a little different. Oolong tea or pu'er tea are wonderful choices here because they support digestion. Fermented teas, in particular, help your gut process the food you've just eaten, and they introduce beneficial bacteria that keep your microbiome strong. A healthy gut isn't just about avoiding bloating or indigestion. It's directly tied to your metabolism, your immune system, even your mood. So that cup of tea after lunch isn't just a nice habit, it's a health strategy. If you're a coffee drinker, make that your mid-afternoon boost. But here's the key: skip the sugar, skip the flavored syrups. Keep it simple, black coffee, or maybe a splash of milk if that's your thing. The chlorogenic acid and polyphenols in coffee are doing the heavy lifting here. And you don't want to undo that by loading it up with sugar, which spikes your insulin and tells your body to store fat instead of burn it. And if caffeine makes you jittery or keeps you up at night, go decaf. You'll still get the benefits. Throughout the day, keep sipping water. Cold if you can, but even room temperature is fine. Hydration is one of the most underestimated tools we have for staying healthy. It keeps your blood flowing, your cells communicating, your kidneys filtering, your skin glowing. And like I said earlier, it supports your metabolism in ways most people never think about. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon, a few fresh mint leaves, or brew a pitcher of iced green tea and keep it in the fridge. Make it easy, make it enjoyable. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Now, here's the thing. Each one of these drinks, water, tea, coffee, is sending a message to your body. And the message is this: repair, don't store. Renew, don't decay. Burn, don't hoard. Your body is listening. It's designed to listen. But it needs to hear that message consistently, day after day, week after week. You're not looking for a quick fix. You're building a new normal. And that new normal, over time, becomes the foundation of a healthier, stronger, more resilient you. All right, let's bring this all together. Your body was never designed to break down and give up. It was designed to adapt, to rebuild, to regenerate. And the fact that you're here, listening to this, learning about this, it means you're already halfway there. You're already asking the right questions. You're already looking for ways to feel better, to live better, to age better. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that quick snack or expensive supplement, start with that one simple drink. The one that can help activate stem cells, burn stubborn fat, and reignite your body's natural ability to heal itself from the inside out. It's been sitting in your kitchen all along, waiting for you to see it for what it really is. Not just a beverage, but a tool, a signal, a daily reset button for your health. Now, before you go, I need to ask you something. What drink are you starting your day with tomorrow? Are you a green tea person, a matcha person, a coffee lover? Or are you going to try that cold water challenge first thing in the morning? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me. Your story matters, your health matters, and I'm here to walk this path with you, one cup at a time. If this video opened your eyes to something new, if it gave you clarity or hope, do me a favor, hit that like button so others can find this information too. Subscribe to Older Orbit so you don't miss what's coming next, because we're just getting started on this journey together. And share this with someone who needs it, someone who's struggling with stubborn weight, low energy, or just wants to understand their body better. They'll thank you for it. Your next sip might just be the one that changes everything. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep orbiting toward better health here at Older Orbit.